It fills hard drives here.
Woo!
Greetings and welcome to Darian and I presents The Titan's Gift, Season 3, Episode 27. I am your DM and host. How is everyone doing? We've got 3/4 of the Seattle crew plus Mark.
Hello.
Sounds like we've got enough players to play.
Oh, hi, Mark.
I think we can do it.
I
think we can do it.
How is everyone doing? It's been a while. A couple weeks.
Woo. Great. Doing great. I don't even know what's happened.
Yeah.
Since last time. Geez, I don't know. Moving back into the house later this month, so that's exciting.
Oh, nice.
Not living in the townhouse anymore, so that's a thing. Yeah, just working at the new job. Same company, different team. Work is work. I deployed my first website today, so I can pretend to know how computers work.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know. Things are good. Finished Moby Dick. Spoiler alert: the whale wins.
Dude, you have to wait till the book's been out for at least 200 years.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah,
I had to put a bunch of fucking disclaimers in this video.
Kind of exciting. It's my wife's birthday coming up. She can't hear me. She has headphones on right now, but I may have gotten her a VR headset for her birthday, so that's going to be on the gaming horizon for me.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah.
Got
for her.
One.
Yeah. She wanted it.
Honey, I got you a PS5 for our anniversary.
That's what you always wanted.
Funny. Well, they play video games together.
Yeah,
so,
no, yeah. Like my wife would not be. I would not be fooling my wife with that one.
No, she asked for it. She likes tech gadgets, and she's.
Oh, that's
been
cool.
good.
Especially
Good
if she lets you use it. If it's not, well, no, it's mine.
Mark, what's new with you?
Not much. I haven't played this game since there were ethereal tentacles coming out of the nowhere. And then I went, okay, bye guys.
Yeah, you were off work for a while, and then you went back to work. I think was the.
It just hasn't worked out where you guys were either not playing while I was available or I was working when you were playing. So.
Oh, good to see you here. What are you playing or doing?
Nerd
wise.
I'm replaying Ghost of Tsushima. Just because it's a beautiful freaking game, and I got a PS5 to play it on now. So it's like,
nice. That game looks sweet.
Even on PS4, it's one of the best looking games I've ever seen. Anyway, yeah, doing that. Went and saw Thor: Love and Thunder. It was good.
Any good?
It was good. I think it's for a younger audience. Like Disney's, I think, kind of going, okay, Marvel, thanks for all the money, but let's lower what we're our age target again. So, all that being said, I still enjoyed myself. It was fun.
Or could be you're getting older, Mark.
Shut up!
No.
Oh.
Shut up with your reality.
Says one gray hair to another. Matt, what's up with you, man?
I've been playing a little bit of Stellaris again.
Nice.
I love that game. That's great. Not too much else. I took a week off. Went out to the Olympic Peninsula with my parents and my sister's family, and it was great. Pretty much no internet access and some beach, some mountain.
Yeah, where'd you? 2 questions. Where'd you go out there? And did you see the big guy? Did you see the hairy man himself, Sasquatch? That's his neighborhood, buddy.
It is his neighborhood. I actually had to sign an NDA, so I can't tell you if I met him. or anything about his attempt to buy a large social media site. We stayed just outside of Port Angeles.
Nice.
We did a little bit of whale watching. We saw some humpbacks, some orcas, a minke. It was very successful whale watching. We went out to Claylock Beach.
Okay.
That was pretty cool. Pacific Ocean beaches are pretty cool. And up to Hurricane Ridge.
Ooh.
Yeah, good stuff. Good stuff.
That sounds awesome, man.
Yeah.
Max,
I would recommend it.
what's new, Max?
Let's see here. I finished Rhythm of War, so I'm done with the
Nice.
Stormlight Archive stuff. I'm moving on to Mistborn Era 2.
Dude.
I finished a playthrough of Fire Emblem 3 Hopes. I started a second playthrough. Just been kind of mashing sort of getting the Dynasty Warriors vibe out of my system. And then we took last week off, did some house stuff. Not a ton, mostly relaxed and recharged. So it's been kind of a chill week or so.
Dude, I'm so excited. So excited. So jealous you got a first read through on some Stormlight Archives.
It was really, really good. I'm very excited, and now I'm very sad that I have to wait.
Let's see. I had last week off for work, so watched all of season 4 of Stranger Things.
Hell yeah.
Yeah,
good, right?
Season 4 started off,
fun.
I was like, I don't know, and it just kept on getting better and better and better.
Yeah, it was awesome.
I've got 2 episodes left, and I was like for the first couple episodes, it would like ramp up, and the next episode bring it right back down, then ramp up, and then it's like, okay, I'm in now. I'm in.
It was the plotting to have everything happen at once that was something that I appreciated. All the tension at once. Yeah, I don't want to ruin that. That one's a spoiler alert. That's definitely. The synchronicity of things happening was just beautiful. I also finished 5 seasons. This is over the last month, but I watched the last season of The Last Kingdom, which is kind of a neat show about like
Vikings.
it's with the Anglo-Saxons when they weren't quite united, fighting the Danes, the Vikings, and the Scots, and just the crazy turmoil that was England. The last season, I don't know. It's like maybe in the last 2 seasons, the writers just decided to have really competent characters make shitty decisions so that they could keep other cast members around for longer, which really knocked me out of the immersion. So I got kind of bored with, like, I wasn't paying as much attention in the last 2 seasons, but the first were decent. The main guy, Uhtred, son of Uhtred, Lord of Bevonbur, is basically a dex fighter. Like if you want to if you want a model of a dex fighter, yep, that's him. What else? I'm as far as I've gotten with all of my restart of Wrath of the Righteous.
Okay, yeah.
So
I see you on there restarting it. I see you on Steam.
I'm happy with my characters. Now there's 9 of them. I just added 3 more with one of the toy box things. I didn't need the 9th. The 9th was I'm gonna try out to see what the super powerful kineticist would look like. Originally created a la Duganschmer from the other campaigns, a overwhelming soul, but the overwhelming soul was buggy.
Oh, okay.
And so I deleted that character and then recreated him as a normal kineticist, and I realized that kineticist blast damage, all the dice gets multiplied on a crit.
Holy shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I've hit like 300 or 400 damage on a crit. Oh, it's so satisfying. It's like, oh, there's a Hezru that wanders around the corner, big burly pig demon, and it explodes. It's pretty.
It's Wheeler Woe, because if you lose a spell resist, like, you do nothing.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on if you're.
I'm using Earth Blast.
Okay,
so-
physical blasts. Okay,
Yeah, which means that DR applies, but when
sure.
you're doing,
When you're in hundreds, it's not that
Yeah.
big a deal.
yep. That's not my favorite character. The most destructive character
Out
is,
of the 9.
of course, I've hacked it. The one toolbox allows you to make Gestalt, so it's a Gestalt Zen Archer Rowdy Rogue.
Rowdy Rogue?
Rowdy Rogue is a specific to Wrath of the Righteous. It's not an actual archetype in the game, but it allows you to apply your sneak attack when you do Vital Strike. And if you're just
a lot of damage.
doing Monk, like Zen Archer for lots of attacks, it's also very easy to sneak attack in that game.
Yeah.
So he destroys things. There's a few mythic powers where you destroy an enemy and then you start to do damage to the enemies nearby, and it just starts to cascade into field of destruction.
Okay.
Yeah. Yep. I won't go through all of their builds, but I'm having fun. I'm on like chapter 4 where you're digging beneath Dresden, effectively. You're going into the abyss. Is really the part of the game for that. So having fun with that. All right, why don't we do a recap of what happened last two games? Last two games were Enter the Maw and Just Passing Through, respectively. The Jerks Emeritus and Krojun travel to the scorching Cinderlands with the intent of attracting the attention of the god beast Cindermaw to prove their bravery to the Scarran people. The Jerks Emeritus attempt to escape the perils of Cindermaw's digestive tract. Inside, they encounter the spirit of an old ruler. They search for precious stones that will prove their bravery, and spot treasures plundered by Kazavon and his minions long ago. Of course, they were able to escape, along with the strange red stones, quite a few of them, if I recall. Cindermaw, while he was cursed and I think a little bit damaged from your time in his belly, simply slithered off back into the wastes. Not wanting to further attract his attention, the party then teleported back to the entranceway of the House of the Moon. You absconded with some special treasures that belong to heroes and nobles and leaders, perhaps priests as well, from long ago. The catfolk warriors that are guarding the House of the Moon look surprised. They do invite you in. Tech goes and finds a place to squat for a while you go into the temple. You were given a spot in the living quarters to rest, and the party has sort of gathered to have a look at the things that you've found. Makronam.
Oh, these are nice. Are these for keeping?
Very good, Makronam. Not for eating.
Oh, but they're so shiny. But yeah, I figured that.
The items.
Talking about the crystals or the new? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh yeah, he's talking about the new items. The crystals are there. I think Tech handed over to Thurgus before he left the ones that he was carrying. These crystals that were formed and hardened inside the insane furnace that was Cindermaw's innards. No, in particular, he was talking about a pair of bracers, an odd-looking ring, a blue scale that looks like came from a dragon that has been formed into a buckler, and a pair of bracers of I forget what they're called. Orizini?
Yeah, I have those.
Anquani, of Anquani design.
This looks rather interesting. I wonder what the history is behind this. Professor will pluck out the ring of the troll god's blessing, a rough, blocky, iron-wrought ring with a patina of rest. Most peculiar. Does anyone mind if I wear it? I do believe it has some regeneration powers.
Yes,
You need all the help you can get, mate.
one of your arms could really use it.
Oh,
Well, in that case, I will remove Zalara's circlet, and Makronom, perhaps you could hold on to. Well, I'll just stash her with the rest of things. Yes.
oh, you want me to eat something for keeping?
No, just in the regular trunk with the rest of the gear is fine, I suppose. But
Oh.
I will need to borrow this from the gear pile, and I will. As I put on the plague doctor's mask, I become a lot less charismatic looking. All of a sudden, it seems like I'm just a little bit less eloquent, and I'm no fucking behind this mask. This should help with any more diseases we encounter, at least.
I think with all the coughing you've been doing, it's going to help us too.
As the goggles fog up. Yes, well, and I will slip off my ring of mind shielding, slip it into the gear pile, and I will slip on the ring of Troll God's blessing.
Okay. As you're putting on the ring, you do feel like a flash of dozens, if not 100, different people being injured and regenerated in violent acts throughout time.
Most peculiar.
Many of them were large and warrior-like, but some of them were humans, you think, or at least humanoids? Not giants. It all happened very quickly in a flash.
I do believe that I have some proficiency at seeing into the future now. If there are any questions about our journey ahead, feel free to posit them, and I will consult the powers within, so to speak.
Yeah, Zalara has some competition, it seems. How nice.
Yes, you flatter me, surely.
Well, a couple of cuts and scrapes, like small things that were left over from your battle. Your knee thrums in pain a little bit and then feels better. One of the things that the regenerate doesn't seem to be doing, or seems to be uncomfortable and being combated by some other magic, is that the skin at the edge of where your hand tapers into your arm tapers into a skeleton is being reknit at the same rate that it's being eaten.
Oh.
Itches a bit.
Oh,
I would describe it as a dull pain and a lot of itch.
Yes, well, that will be a bit annoying, but old age does bring its peculiarities.
It's also not pleasant to look at because it's moving, flaking. It looks like one side's going to win, and then rot happens and it falls off, or it kind of crinkles away.
I'm just constantly creating like dead skin around me. It's like little piles of old man skin just
Stay away from the communal food, for fuck's sake.
What's that? Did you want to have a look?
Oh. That doesn't look nice.
Makronom, these skin flakes, if you see them about, they're for eating whenever you like, my friend.
That is
Okay.
absolutely disgusting.
Makronom, every once in a while, a little tendril licks out, and he's eating little skin flakes that come off of the professor.
oh, I'll use these bracers if you don't mind. I think I like making things and magic things, and these are going to help quite a bit once I figure out how they work. It'll take some time.
People try to hit me a lot, so I'm gonna use this shield. And he just like slaps it on his chest.
Okay. I think a number of days have to go by before you gain a meta magic.
22, yeah.
Yeah. The bracers look like Ankwani style pillars with a golden Ankh on them, I believe. And then
Nice.
yeah, they feel sturdy. They're beautiful. They have not tarnished with age, even though you know that they're quite old. You're pretty certain that Ankwani priests or crafters have used these before. which means that they're
Nice.
as old as the inherited races, or maybe, or at least from the same era when most of them stood up. Thurgus, the shield, it's sturdy.
And very blue.
It is the same color blue. It reminds you of the insane blue that was used by the mad artist that you guys have rescued and brought with you into the Badlands, namely Salvatore Scream.
Oh, he's gonna love it when I show him this.
I'm sure.
Yes, perhaps to give him some inspiration.
Farisa, you know that the scale, if it came from Azrael, was part of his payment for betraying the Simbasta kings of the Grand Pearl.
Yes. The shield of a betrayer. A scale from the corruptor that encouraged him to betray, too, isn't it?
You think we're gonna piss off all the people that I just tried to impress by wearing this thing?
No. I think you're using it for the right reasons, and nobody else knows the history as well as we do.
Fair enough.
I don't mind if I do, says Zephyros, who takes the smaller, beautiful golden moonstone ring that is shaped into a stylized moon symbol. It does look like it has missing pieces on the front of the ring, almost like other rings or pieces of jewelry that fit in like a puzzle. But this definitely is a very powerful item for Zephyros, as it doubles both of his base mage's second level spells and his wizard second level spells.
Nice.
That's going to be pretty amazing.
It's a bit quiet around here. I assumed there would be some grand feast to celebrate our accomplishments in gaining entry to the annals of history for these people.
Yeah.
I don't think they thought we were gonna make it.
Darian, you begin to grow.
Where the fuck have you been?
Shifting out of your sword form into paladin form.
Look, I don't mind you taking this as like a part-time gig, but ditching us in the middle of the Tentacle Temple was not exactly the right time to piss off.
That wasn't my. What happened to you? You were just in the belly of a worm, right? Oh.
Ah, yeah, I'm well seasoned.
Yeah. What I miss?
Oh, you know, same old, same old. Thurgus goes off and becomes a hero to the people. Professor probably sold some more of his soul or something like that. And we're pretty awesome. That's pretty much it.
Pharisee, what happened?
Well, we got the marks of Iambulus, of course. And I think, let's check. Do you have one of those too?
I shoved your face or your sword hilt in the hole or whatever, hoping for the
I believe
best.
so. Excellent, excellent. Right. Well, we went out into the desert and found just the knot of woe. A bit of the last, perhaps, bit of the world tree, Drassel, embedded, trying to slip its tendrils through its roots through the plains, and absorbed the last of its essence before we popped off to see the worm and fought our way through its many stomachs to its fiery excreta that the professor encouraged it to exude. Well, what did we do? We met Azrael there, the relatively old administrator of Grand Station. that betrayed Grand Station to Kazerval.
In the world.
Sorry, in the worm's stomach. I believe he was undead. That must have been the place that he was sent for his betrayal of the betrayer. Once a betrayer, always a betrayer, I suppose. But he did take a few little items, so we liberated those trinkets from the worm's stomach, along with quite a few of these crystals.
I see.
All right. Appearing in the chamber.
Sorry, I missed that.
Appearing in the chamber, kind of with the teleportation or shifting magics, is Krojun, who might have stopped
We brought an extra crystal for you.
Who might have stopped to talk to some of the catfolk that he knows that are here. You do see Truth Speaker Akrun. He must have gone to the temple to summon the Moon Maiden.
Such an awesome token.
It looks like they just completed a conversation because Krojun just nods to the Moon Maiden, like he answered her on the other side of the teleport. Oh, they're getting their much-deserved rest, says the Truth Speaker. It's no longer invisible.
Truth Speaker. Perhaps you can give a more compelling account of our journey than we could ourselves.
Oh, yes. I have spoken briefly to the Moon Maiden, but with mine own eyes and with my magics, I did ascertain that these Jerks Emeritus, he says hesitantly, not wanting to insult you, have indeed entered and survived a considerable amount of time in Cindermar's belly, acquiring certain red gemstones that grow within. And they also found a few things. He doesn't seem to elaborate, but he might have seen the big pile of treasure that you guys are carrying in your hands as you left.
Are you guys all healed up?
No, they're still beat up.
Pretty
They're still beat up.
Darian will throw out
They're
a bunch
stinky.
of channels till.
Okay.
How many hit points are we looking at here?
Krojun was down about 40, I think. Let's see. The Tech
was
had
down-
135 damage.
Can I get
Yeah.
the IP? I actually
I
can't
was down
connect to the map
44.
to map tools.
Oh, yeah.
I pinged it in chat. I don't think anybody saw it.
Oh, sorry.
Oh no.
No, I've got
No,
two.
you're good.
Here you go.
Thanks.
Max. Try that.
Thanks.
All right. Krojun had 40. Thurgus had 11 damage. Tech had 135 damage. Professor
Yeah.
had 21. Zephyros had 50. 3. Makernam had 56. Pharisee had 44. They are very beat up. It looks like a lot of the injuries were scrapes, burns, and acid burns.
Okay. We'll start off with 3. Let's see who's left. So 88 damage for the first 3 channels.
What? That's awesome.
Nice.
That's why he's here.
Are we doing this outside? Tech is outside. We might need to heal him later.
Darian will wait till everyone's around.
Okay, yeah, you can go and fetch Tech.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
We
wander
just-
out. You
we
guys
just
wander
escaped
outside.
the worm.
Yeah.
Our
There's
dude
also
gets to hang out indoors.
Just looking at it though, it was also an exceptional roll. There's a lot of 4s, 5s, and 6s.
Yep.
Nice.
That leaves about 50 damage on Tech.
On Tech, that's it. All right, so we'll switch to lay on hands for Tech. 50 damage. We'll do another 4 lay on hands. We'll do 3 lay on hands. We'll see how that works. 75.
That's more than enough.
Again, awesome roll.
Nice. Well done.
Does this knight serve you, my queen?
We're on the same team. He serves the same, he's a jerk. He's a jerk just like me.
You know, I've been meaning to talk about our. It's I'm thinking we might get some more positive feedback. We just changed it to something other than Jerks.
Oh,
But that's not a name.
Nicknames are often earned and given, not chosen, unfortunately.
Although I do remember us choosing this one pretty specifically.
You, old man, you're not allowed to die until we speak with my uncle.
Krojun says to Akrun. I didn't plan on it.
Excellent.
Your uncle? Who, pray tell, is that, Krojun?
Chieftain of the tribe of the sun.
Oh, how fortuitous.
Yes, of course we're going to regale the tale to your uncle, but I do believe that it is the Sun Shaman that would be most interested in your tale. And as he's, like, looking at Pharisee when saying that.
I would expect so.
All he does is sunbathe.
Krojun kind of waves with a snort and goes back inside.
Well, we can tell them all.
Tech wanders off to go hunt some desert.
If Tech had any curses or diseases, the mercy would...
The mercies, huh? Let's see, did Tech have any curses or diseases? Doesn't look like it.
All right.
I don't think so.
Nothing.
He just took straight up, I got hit by a ghost damage.
Yep.
Fair enough. Okay.
Yeah, his wounds look much different, like discoloration on his chitinous plates and a weird sort of webby flakingness in between. Yeah, almost like a clawed handprint in one of them.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, you missed some stuff, Darian.
Feeling a little guilty at the same time. Not really his fault. So, what's next?
Well, I don't quite know. We did my thing.
Yes, I do believe we should check on Esri. No, she was a bit laid up last we saw her.
Esri is still, her body is well tended. There is still life within. We're confident that we can keep her in that state for quite some time. We are not ready for the ritual quite yet.
Well, in that case, I suppose we should prepare for our journey to the Sun Tribe. I think they will be quite interested in the story we have to tell.
I would imagine so.
We have ascertained that she has gone far and that she has gone towards a light.
Oh. Well, usually that is a pretty final end, but with the powers of magic, coming back from the light seems as doable as anything these days.
It is a light that wasn't always there. It is a light that is beyond the hue of our enemy.
Not blue, then, I take it?
It is a light of Heshmala, says one of her maidens, and she seems to shush her. We are not certain about that.
It could be, though. It could be.
Well, that is reassuring, I suppose. Better than nothing. So it sounds like we are free to continue on our journeys to regale Krojun, your father, was it? The
Uncle.
chieftain? Uncle? And some sunbathing shaman, I hear?
Yeah, he's not anything special.
Well.
The Sun Shaman is a very powerful man. He both communes with Halcyon and with nature.
Quite a potent combo, indeed.
Yeah, it's about all he does.
Krojun seems really unimpressed with the Sun Shaman.
Yes, well, I suppose then we could rest.
The Moon Maiden seems a bit cross with Krojun's dismissal of the Sun Shaman, but she doesn't say anything further.
Totally oblivious to social cues. Yes, I suppose we could rest for the evening and then journey through the shadows tomorrow evening.
That seems.
Shadows.
Krojun doesn't like the shadow plane. He goes up. He just shakes his head at that.
Thurgus.
That makes sense, yeah.
There's a place.
Shadows to the Sun Tribe.
There's a place I want to show you when we get to Flameford.
Oh yeah, is it got lots of stuff for me to fight?
No, maybe, I don't know.
Does it got more gods or titans for me to meet?
Krojun thinks.
I think it was a Titan's house long ago.
Oh, awesome! I've been collecting those.
We have to ask. We'll have to ask my uncle if you could undergo the test.
I thought I just went on the fucking test. What's this
No.
test for?
No, he says, and he's sort of facing you. His left arm on your left shoulder. He leans in.
The test of strength. This is.
Oh, I thought for a second you were going to say multiple choice.
It's how I got big.
Oh, now you've got my attention.
No spells needed.
Yeah, we're doing this.
We'll ask my uncle. After what we've done, you'll be crazy to refuse us.
Yes, well, that sounds all well and good, but about this evening, Moon Maiden, Madam Tekrika, I don't suppose you were anticipating the return of humble yet victorious heroes and had laid a banquet and feast for us to celebrate our many, many accomplishments?
You are always welcome to stay here. Ever since you braved the madness of our holy place and helped save our tribe here. Mock standards are not, but I suppose now.
Not?
Perhaps no more.
Of course, it is the tribe of the sun that you will have to go and make your claim. Akrun nods.
Naturally. Perhaps we can make our own little feast.
If you are hungry, we can bring you food. If you're thirsty, bring you drink.
Oh, it's more the symbol and the pageantry, I suppose.
I think the Sun Tribe is the one that's more about the pageantry.
Yes,
They're the ones that are all hung up on this worm.
I suppose just a bath then would be in order, what with all of the digestional juices we've shared amongst us.
A bath is definitely in order for all of you.
Very well. We will bathe you, then feed you, and then we will have some music and dancing. Along with the drink, she says.
A proper celebration for heroes' return. Yes! I knew the hospitality of the desert was not spent in these long years.
All right. They do have bathtubs. The priests are able to create water. The bathtubs are actually not in their extra-dimensional spaces. They're on the outside where the water can drain. And you see a little bit more of the temple area. Let me just... stairs that lead upstairs. There might be one level above that might be only accessible from the outside or from some other way. But yes, there's a living area that includes bathing areas, and they help you get clean. They begin to while you are taking your baths and drying off, begin to feed you some cured meats and desert fruit.
Oh, I couldn't possibly eat another. Oh, perhaps one more. After all the
I
hard
love
work
these
I've
desert
done.
fruits. It reminds me of our train trip where I'd collected a few of these for the way home.
Some dragon fruit. Yep.
So long ago, so many memories, Verisay.
Do you have that puzzle box still from early on?
Yes, I do believe it's somewhere in my possessions here. Let me look around.
I wonder if that's something we could open up and solve today.
Yes, here we are. Where is this puzzle box? Puzzle box. I do believe we had done some previous investigations. Yes, made from jade and ivory, carved with ancient Ankwani symbols. Where was it? I do believe it was used by.
Is that the one where you roll it around and it changes your luck for a moment?
Yes, it could date back before inherited gods, toys of god kings, priests, and their children, solved with intellect by not being solved, force of will alone. Yes. It was sold by an old woman. Don't touch it. He tried to solve it, shook it in frustration. Something good happened to him most days, something bad other days. Yes. Yes. Here it is.
Yes, interesting.
I do believe you roll it, and depending on where the die inside lands, it will grant you a random bonus. There are 6 different options. Intellect, I think, will make the final outcome more predictable and controllable.
Where did you write all this down?
Just in the mad ravings of the professor.
Oh, no. This is so long ago. This is something you found, I think, at Adventure 1.
It is
Yes.
the first page of the journal.
Sorry for digging all the way back.
That's all right. As long as you know what it does.
I am a
Yeah.
completionist.
Don't forget the wishes it grants, guys. It
Oh,
grants
yeah.
wishes.
Yeah, it was it's like an old thing that comes from it was like maybe a toy for kings and priests and their children.
Yep.
There's something inside the box that you can hear rattling around, and what we seem to figure out that you can solve it with intellect. There's, I think, probably 6 different effects that can be triggered from it.
That kind of jogs a bit of memory.
Jade and ivory puzzle boxes, or old puzzle box, is what I have written down. I think we got we pulled 1 or 2 memories out of it using psychometry of the previous owner, the old lady who sold it to me, but younger, and her husband would always fool around with it. And some days he'd rattle it and something good would happen to him. Some days something not so good. So I don't think she quite knew how it worked either. But here it is. If you fancy a go of it, I will proffer it to Pharisee.
Yes, very interesting. I certainly know more about the history of these sorts of things now than I did. Although tomorrow I could take a fresher stab at it, perhaps.
If you do, please tell me of your findings.
Indeed.
Wasn't there an item?
Which one?
Okay. Yeah. I think I know what it does.
Any guesses, Pharisee, as to its grand design?
Is it magical? I'll detect magic on it?
There's no magic coming from the puzzle box itself.
But there's something inside that
There's
might be
something
magical.
inside, and the puzzle box is metal, at least thick enough to block your sight into the box.
Yeah.
Why don't you just smash it?
Might break the thing that's inside. Might set off a triggered curse of some sort.
Occasionally, I've seen those things before. You dig up old things, pot,
Yes.
little artifacts of old desert traders, find them, or shepherds.
Is it Anguani in design?
Looks like it.
Yes.
Krojun just shrugs, like he's not terribly, how should we say, scholarly.
Yeah.
I vote for breaking it.
I'll see if I can figure out how the puzzle works.
Okay. You could give me an int check, a disable device check, maybe even a use magic device.
I'll aid with whatever you're gonna do.
Well, it's not magical. It kind of follows the same principles of you're going to fiddle with it until you figure out how to make it work.
Yeah. Let me try a use magic device check.
I'll aid.
32.
Okay. Pieces are moving at a certain point. We'll say about 10 minutes in. You thought you were getting somewhere, but then another 10 minutes goes by, and you've had a hard time getting back to that state where you thought you were getting somewhere.
Interesting. Not quite. It's a complex puzzle. Quite complex.
Oh, maybe if I eat it.
Well, why don't you try to manipulate it with your spoodles and see if you can trip the right combination to open it.
Oh, if I get it open, can I eat the thing inside?
if you can get it open,
Please no. It was acquired throughout my many expeditions in the desert. It is a piece of artifact for study.
3 tentacles, kind of little grabby things, come out of Makranam and grasp the thing and start moving the movable bits around, twisting the box and moving some of its component parts. He does have disabled device at plus 23.
Not bad.
you can eat. I have some fruits from some magical fruits. They aren't quite as fresh as they used to be. I'll let you eat them. If you can
Okay.
open it.
For eating or for keeping?
For eating.
Okay, if you put them down and say they're for eating, he's already grown another tentacle and he's chomping away at them.
I'll give you one now and the other 2 if you can open it.
Oh, okay. Let's see.
26? No, he doesn't get as far as you did.
Oh,
He was distracted by the fruit. You see him looking at the fruit every once in a while.
Darian just mutters scrotal horror. Just
huh?
nothing. Fucking monster.
No, it's quite distinctive.
Oh. Why don't you try, Professor? You always say that you're really smart.
Oh, I do believe I helped aid Pharisee. I think I may be a bit exhausted from it, no?
I actually didn't take the aid.
Oh, well, hand it over. Let's see. Give it a try.
Your towering intellect alone should be sufficient.
What were the checks that were possible here? You could do int.
Int, disabled device, use magic device. Given that it's like a mechanical puzzle, I'd also let knowledge engineering be a thing.
Let's do knowledge engineering. Yes, it's been some time since I've studied it, but I'll give it another go.
You can get a +2 for Pharisee. The failed attempts at least show you what not to do, and a +2 from Makranam.
Yes, don't make the same mistakes thrice. And let's see here. 28. I think not.
No, Pharisee seemed to be the one that got the furthest. She got 3 out of the 4 clasps undone.
Perhaps tomorrow we can make headway on it.
Yes. Yes, perhaps. Perhaps we can.
Shall
Most
we
interesting. I'll hand
adjourn?
it back to the professor.
Thank you, yes.
Yeah, I don't-
study it again.
I don't think Zephyrus has any of those skills. Zephyrus, you see, picks it up later, fiddles with it, and then just puts it down. Like, nope. Yeah, I'm not going to embarrass myself by making a big production out of it.
Shall we adjourn to the feast with the celebration and then sleep until...
I think we
We're-
shall.
Okay. The food is good but simple. The drink is strong, and the dancing is fun if you let it be. They break out some sitars and hand drums and some chimes, and are actually good at it. The moon dancers aren't called moon dancers for not being able to dance, and they probably outdance all of you.
It's not true. Darian's just a dancing machine. No, he's not.
Well, with a high charisma, you never know.
I'll definitely dance.
He's the guy who stands and goes, I'm just making sure everything's orderly.
I'll spend
Have
plenty of
fun
time
in an
dancing
orderly
with him.
manner.
What's that, Pharisee?
I'll dance. I'll dance with them as long as they'll dance.
Yeah, a bit of
Play some music with them too.
yeah. Let's give a roll. Let's see how high we can get the roll. So with their dancing and several musicians, you'd have a +8 to a perform check if you want to perform a song during this feast.
What is
Yeah.
their do they like talk about what the songs are about or anything? Maybe I'll throw an illusion in to add to it.
Sure. You've got some skill representing your ability at illusion, or is it just straight up spellcraft?
Probably just spellcraft.
No, we have craft illusion. You actually have ranks in it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So you auto aid with that.
I'll take another 2.
Yeah, and I'll throw some illusion out there to kind of match with whatever the song's about and dance it around.
Yeah. So given that Pharisee is taking the lead and she basically takes over and says, "I have a song to play." What is the song about, Pharisee?
Huh. It's the let's see here. The Ballad of the Cinderlander. The story of a young man who roamed the sands until he found a great worm, tamed it, and then rode it around destroying cities. No. He rode it around. He found it after it had destroyed cities. The last survivor of a city destroyed by the worm. He hunted it down, intent on killing it, and instead tamed it, befriended it, and rode it around the desert, keeping everything safe.
With Icky Mace's help, I'll have an illusion of the worm and illusion of the Cinderlander, and they'll play off each other.
Okay. First give me your craft illusion check. If you get higher, you might give a higher bonus to Pharisee.
Yep. 25.
Nice. Okay, so that's a +4 with an additional +2 on Pharisee. As everyone in the hall has had a lot to drink, they are fed, they're having fun dancing, and they're really getting into the song and the storytelling.
We're going to make the performance primarily based on my piping, wind instrument, the desert winds, in between spoken word verses. Bad roll, 40.
40. So on the perform check, a 30 is an extraordinary performance. In a prosperous city, you can earn 3d6 dollars per day. And in time may draw the attention from distant patrons, even extraplanar beings. 40 is enough to at least get a reaction out of a being. You give such praise to the Cinderlander, who wasn't necessarily friends with the inherited races, but he was
kind of menace, right?
But he was friendly with Cindermaw. He was riding Cindermaw. He wasn't trying to harm Cindermaw. And yeah. Cindermaw, you think, is a pet of one of the more destructive titans. That perhaps your praise has been answered. You actually feel like a bit of a desert wind swirling around your ankles, kind of fluttering your cloak. I don't know if you wear a dress or if it's just pants.
I have a cloak.
Okay.
I have a cloak that gives me lesser displacement.
All right. So you feel desert winds and a little bit of heat, and there was a slight. There was a slight dustiness in the air.
Ah, nice.
You did lift off the ground a little bit. People are clapping and cheering. You've got wings, so maybe they don't think it's as odd that a fae is lifting off the ground as you might.
It is odd.
But as the song ends, it quiets down. During this, Professor, you let your crawling claw control some of the illusions because you started getting a thrumming headache while the crescendo of the song was happening. As Pharisee was giving praise to the Cinderlander, who may have met an end that he did not deserve, or at least an end that his patron may not have appreciated.
Sorry,
yeah. He just he kind of had it coming. You know, chaos is a thing in the desert, and sometimes you ride the worm, and sometimes you have a heart attack for no reason on top.
I'm going to move into the desert sands as if this is a scene that you guys completely are not aware of. But perhaps the song sung in this holy place of a temple of the Titans was heard by a Titan. Because there's this tangled body in the sands that is lying lifeless, that twitches and lets out its last breath before standing up in the sands.
That's the best.
We sang such a good song. He came back for an encore.
Delightful.
All right. So back in the Temple of the Moon, you guys have a wonderful time. You've healed up. You've rested. They do acknowledge you as not mock standers anymore, and you are
Conquerors of the desert.
well. You conquerors of the desert's dangers. You haven't quite conquered these people, but you've definitely made friends of them.
Just the desert, not the people.
Yeah. You're free to stay here as long as you want. They, in a quiet conversation with the priestess, she with Moon Maiden Tekra Kai, she does think that it will take until at least the next moon before the ritual will be ready. Full moons are the time of great dreaming, as the moon wears away against the fabric of the waking world and the dreaming world. I also fear that I am also working on something that will help us be able to track her.
Yes, that should be helpful. How long till the moon is in the proper alignment?
You have time to travel, especially with your quickened ways, to go see the Sun Shaman and come back, she says, a couple of weeks.
Oh, splendid then. Shall we prepare for our journey then to meet the tribe of the sun?
Yes.
Perhaps it would be fortuitous for us to leave in the middle of the night and attempt to arrive sometime around sunrise for the appropriate flourish of the dramatic? No?
Let's just get there.
Says Krojun.
Agreed.
Zephyros does not have craft wondrous item, does he? He's got craft
Don't
magic
think so.
arms and
I have
armor and craft rod. Okay, so we're going to say that you guys do take an extra day to rest because I think Henry wanted a meridian belt power, as we talked offline, to be added to your...
I think I don't need it anymore because we swapped the circlet for the ring for the other ring, so I don't think I need it.
I see.
Yeah, we did some item swapping, so I think
You gave up your protection ring then? Is that
I kept the protection ring. I swapped in the circlet I was wearing, which was a charisma circlet, for the plague doctor's mask, which is mind shielding, so people can't tell I'm
So you
evil.
got rid of the mind shielding.
And then I got rid of the mind shielding ring and put in the troll ring.
What about your grandfather's old arcane ring?
That one is never coming off unless I cut my arm off.
That's right. It's fused to your left pinky, and it's an extra ring slot. Okay, fine.
Yes. So I do believe we should be ready to go by the evening then. Unless anyone has any last-minute crafting or perhaps Fey desert commerce to attempt.
I think we should travel via wind if possible. I would like to get the lay of the land, and I share Krojun's dislike of the shadow place.
Oh, and I suppose you have just hours and hours of fly spells you can be dishing out to all of us.
Oh, no, he's got Windwall.
Don't look at me.
I can do that.
Someone has Windwall.
It does seem a bit slow, no?
We'll be there in an hour or so. We can make that grand entrance you wanted.
Oh, well. Since you say it that way, young paladin, of course, then.
Windwalk is 60 miles an hour.
What is that compared to? Shadow Walk is... 50. Damn. And wait, in the region of Shadow, you move at 50
miles an hour. Yeah.
But it's much more rapid relative to the material plane.
Because you're moving at 50.
Yeah.
Just accept that the power of my god exceeds your own.
I do have one question. What happens to us if you turn into a sword while we're traveling?
Yes, that should be most unpleasant, no?
Well,
Oh, I have wings. I'll just catch the sword. You those of you who don't have wings, you fall to your death. Oh, wait, no. Do you just go slowly down to the ground, perhaps?
Hang on, let's see if do I have spellcraft? I do have spellcraft.
Yeah,
What would happen?
You know that people can go off in their own directions.
You
and
can
they
go off on your own, it'll be fine.
I suppose we shall give it a try then, no?
So, you're saying we walk on wind. It's a 3-day walk through the desert.
It'll be faster when we're wind.
Okay, and you can transform how many people?
I will double check that. I am pretty sure it's very forgiving.
We'll need to bring along Akrun, no? I don't believe your flying carpet is 60 miles per hour, is it?
I think the wind is the winner on this one.
Oh, 1 per 3 levels. So I can do 4, so I'd have to do 2 spells. Which is fine. I got the
Okay.
I've got the magic for that.
Well, Moon Maiden, your hospitality has been sublime.
And it doesn't matter how big.
No, size does not matter.
So there's one group there, and then you can do...
Tech.
It's myself.
Oh, yeah.
It's myself plus 4.
4. And then another casting yourself plus 4.
Yeah.
So you have exactly a party big enough for 2 castings. All right.
No cords.
Don't we?
No cords.
Do we need to bring Akram though, or has he got his own?
Oh, yes. If you like for me to join.
I do believe we will need your you're standing in the tribe to vouch for the glorious tale. You are the truth speaker, no? Speak the truth for us.
Then I suppose we'll do another casting.
You've got 3?
He's got 3 plus 1 for his ability, so yes.
Nice.
Hey, you're a man of many tricks.
There's still a heal spell in the tank, too.
So on travel days, you're pretty tapped.
Yeah.
Much obliged. It has been some time since I've seen the Sun Shaman.
Alright, let's keep something clear. Communicating whilst in our air forms is, it's not going to happen. So you got to look for hand signals unless we can get a telepathic bond going.
Yes, well, how many people can we get in this bond?
Well, ideally, a few of us and whoever's leading this particular little venture.
Myself plus 1 creature per 3 levels. We are level 12. Simple math would deduce that is 5 creatures total.
I can see Marty's twitching.
Yeah, that type of language your character wouldn't actually say out loud. That doesn't.
I will cast telepathic bond. We'll have Professor in it. Let's put Darian in it. Let's put Pharisee in it. Let's put Thurgus in it. And who do we want for number 5 in the telepathic bond?
Probably either Krojun or the truth speaker, because somebody needs to know where we're going.
Let's go with the truth speaker. I don't know why, but I think he's probably got the best idea how to get there.
That seems possible.
Yeah, truth speaker. All right.
I'm leading, right? Says Krojun.
I think perhaps the truth speaker. Unless.
I suppose I was only here to witness your great deed with Cindamar. I can lead the way. Krojun should know how to get home, though.
Should we do Krojun instead?
Whichever of you believes they can find the path best from the air.
Krojun it is.
He crinkles his nose.
All right, well, welcome to the inner workings of the party's mind.
Weird.
Don't think too hard.
You said that, right?
Apparently.
Gives you a push.
Darian, you have a bunch of spells running. Can I erase them and replace them?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
All right, I am going to delete all those and put telepathic bond. I'm not going to mess with that.
Go with the blessings of Iambulus, says the Moon Maiden.
Yeah, let's put the...
You get people waving goodbye and a few salutes from the Catfolk warriors from the Bastani of Tribe of the Moon.
Ta-ta, we will return. Please do not weep, for not all partings are a bad thing.
It's like some Bastani that look at each other. Really? You get a couple of them going over and clasping Thurgus by the hand, and a few of them nodding to Krojun.
All right.
A few of the women Bastani giggling at Krojun. All right, you leave the House of the Moon. Krojun points in that direction and then is a bit confused as he's being turned into wisps of wind. There's a bit of trial and error to get everyone to turn into windy form and then to coordinate, but you were able to play Shepherd, Darian, and soon your group is blasting across the landscape of Bostera. They seem to be skirting the edge of the sandy area that you had wandered into, apparently, to go and face Cindermaw. They still, despite the fact that they are flying, are still following the longer way around that has a path that cuts through jagged rocks and hills that leads around the sandy desert. The weather it's got a light to stiff breeze, not too much cloud cover. It seems to be a surprisingly nice winter day in the desert.
Nice.
You make good time, and Krojun, as the sun sets on your first day of travel, leads your group to a. So give me a second. I think you just get there. 3 days of travel is 90 miles or so. So
Hour and a half.
you get there in 3 hours.
Yep.
No, an hour and a half. Yeah.
Hour and a half.
So yeah, within 2 hours. Okay. So I'm going to move your. Never mind. There's not a full day of travel. You see an aerial view of this place, which I will force you to once I make it visible. Yeah,
Flameford.
this Flameford. And deeper into the desert, you do see signs of civilization. You see that there are hunters and herders and some travelers and traders along the road. Not quite at the grand station level of busyness, but this place looks like it's comparable, if not a little bit bigger, than the Callow Mounds. You do see some larger buildings that look like they may have been either constructed long ago or have been repurposed ruins. There's a beautiful shimmering oasis around which the village or town has been built. There's a strange circular-looking marketplace and several large towers. In the distance, you can see rock formations that might actually be pillars. But those are way in the distance. And with your high perception checks, you do see that there is a Bastani from your vantage point of flying in that looks like he was lying down, kind of spread eagle on the ground, basking in the sun. And I'll put his token down. You may not have seen him there had you walked. There is a hustle and bustle. Most of the people here are either Rakastan or Catfolk, Bastani. A lot of the Rakastans are Shirkastans or Simbastans, which are tiger or lion folk, respectively, and you see a mix of others. A slightly higher ratio of Rakastas to Catfolk.
Oh, shall we enter with a flourish?
Where should we appear, Krojun?
Krojun.
Where should we make our introductions?
Flameford Tower is where my uncle will be, unless he's in the market. Don't know.
You want to knock on the front door or go in through a window?
He doesn't seem to care.
Pharisee, perhaps you could lead us in someplace grand. I will provide a bit of a flourish.
I think an appearance at the very top of the Flameford Tower might do the trick. and then perhaps we'll arrive in a great burst of flame or a comet or something like that. You're
Don't
actually
land on the Everflame.
you probably have better ideas than I on this. The Everflame. Yes, we'll stay away from the Everflame.
It's a flame that doesn't go out.
That sounds fun.
Welcome.
As we make our approach to the flame tower, I will throw out some ghost sounds that will do like some flourishing trumpet noises to announce our arrival.
So
And
I
then-
think you can't cast in this form, right?
Oh.
Right.
So you have to land and spend 5 rounds of transforming back. It doesn't look like the top of the tower, which looks like it may have had other floors in a previous time. There is an Everflame. You expected something a little bit more large than this, but there's this strange gouting flame, maybe about 1.5 feet tall. It is burning sort of blue-green before it turns to red at the top, and it's coming out of a metal hose that looks like the hose continues down through the stone floor. One thing that is revealed is that the stones that have been in the sun all day are quite warm up here underneath your feet. Probably you guys are protected from the weather with endure elements.
Yep.
There are no guards up here, but there are a number of quivers and some bows that are kind of stowed off to the side. Like this place might be used as a watchtower or a perch for archers. You largely are unnoticed, at least for now. There are stone steps that lead further into the repurposed ruins of a tower.
Once we transform, I will cast Major Image. From the top of the Everflame, sort of lit by it, I will fill up my illusionary squares with a giant flaming, go from that blue-green color to the orange-red, kind of like the, what is it, MGM Lion or whatever, that, what is the production company intro Lion animation?
Yeah, I think that's MGM. Yep.
I'll do that. I'll hand that over to Icky Maester to concentrate on while I whip off some ghost sounds that are some flourishing trumpet noises to announce our arrival.
Okay. This has gotten people's attention not only in the tower, but also in the entire town, as people are now pointing up at the tower, and some of them are scurrying around as they don't know what's going on.
I'll wave over the edge. Ha! We've arrived! Yes! Welcome all!
There are some guards that are running up the tower. Like this place perhaps is, well, at least your arrival in this manner might be
Alarming?
quite alarming.
Yep, excellent.
I would assume so.
You can hear some barking roars in Bastani as some guards are coming up the steps. They might have been a couple of floors below you.
Our escort has arrived.
You can hear the clinking of armor and weapons and some quick and short commands. They're not sure.
It's coming from up there.
They're moving
We
up.
may want Krojun to take point on this.
I'll throw, what is it, a glamour on myself before these guys come through the door.
Yeah, we'll see that Thurgus has got his hand on his on the pommel of his sword, but he doesn't have it out. And Krojun is
Hey, it's just me.
Krojun pops is starting to like move his way down the stairs. He's a little bit big for it, so he has to squeeze.
Krojun, what are you doing up here? What is all that noise?
while you guys are a little bit distracted with that, Pharisee, you had just glanced out from the battlements a little bit, and your noise, it looked like it attracted the attention of the Sun Shaman, who sat up from his sunbathing, looked over at you, and then just laid back down like your arrival was nothing.
I love that there is a character in this who is just a cat who lays in the sunbeams.
I am Oh, truth speaker. Who is that chap over there on the flat rock?
Who? There was someone over there?
Yes, lying down, bathing in the sun,
Oh,
basking, one might say.
that might be the Sun Shaman.
Yeah, it's his favorite rock, says Krojun. Krojun
There you
says
go.
it really dismissively. Strange that Krojun would not like the spiritual leader of their village.
Maybe he says don't kill things.
Have we seen holy symbols on Krojun?
No.
Okay. Is one of them a tiger and one of them a lion?
Who's that?
Krojun and the Sun Shaman?
Krojun doesn't wear any holy symbols. You think
Sure.
during the feast, you did hear him asking about the blood bear.
Yeah. Is it? I'm curious if it's a Simbaston versus Rakastan.
It could vary. There could
thing.
be all sorts of family or tribal
Oh, sure. Yeah.
rivals. If he's the nephew of the chieftain, maybe the chieftain doesn't get along with the sun priest
Sure.
or the sun shaman. It's just curious. Oh, if he's over there, I wonder why he's not coming over.
I think he's not amused by our antics yet. We may have to have the truth speaker tell him a good story.
Okay, guards do come outside, up into the tower area. There's not much room for them to stand, as Krojun and Thurgus are sort of blocking the way, and there's a lot of you.
What are you doing here? Calm down, these are my friends. But they're mock standers. Ugh,
Not anymore, hopefully.
we'll see. You should have entered by one of the roads and announced yourself. That's what we did. Bring us to my uncle.
The Sky Road we have taken today.
Krojun, let's just see. He's not a very diplomatic person. They seem a little on edge that you arrived en masse like this, and are at least willing to take you while armed into a chamber a little bit further below. A runner does go off to fetch Krojun's uncle. Krojun seems to walk around the guards almost like they're not there. They're not necessarily pointing their weapons at him.
Okay.
Eventually, as the guards retreat somewhat, almost like they're getting ready in an adjacent room, kind of across this airy bridge. There's another room back underneath that bowl-like rock. You're sort of left to your own for a little bit to talk.
Wait here.
Truth speaker, is there a particular way that you go about telling your stories? Is there a tradition?
Perhaps, given that we haven't quite explained our arrival, I could do so while you wait for the chieftain to receive you.
The truth speaker
Excellent.
walks over and talks to some of the guards. He shows them a thing and a few trinkets, and eventually they let him into the building, and there might be some more guards and whatnot in there. I'm getting chats, but my thing is horrible with showing me the actual chat.
It's just me. I just said sorry about that.
Okay. Yeah, I don't
Mr.
get all
Flyover.
I don't get all the chats for some reason.
That's weird.
Yeah. Let me see if I can close a few and then start one. Oh, because I had so many of them open. There we go.
Sorry, with the way the heat's been, we couldn't actually take the girls while the sun was out.
Okay. While you're waiting, and while the chief is speaking to Akram, there is a catfolk that slides into the room. You almost didn't notice him in the shadows at first, but then he sort of slinks out of the shadows.
Oh, he looks trustworthy.
Yeah, what's his voice gonna be?
Cheshire cat-like grin appears from the shadows. He's small, he's lanky, he's full of rings. He's perfumed. There's a very, very flowing robe that he seems to almost swim in. Yeah, what voice is he gonna have? He's gonna have how did the catfolk from Skyrim talk sound like?
They were.
Khajiit
they
has
were-
wares if you have gold.
Khajiit has wares if you have gold. Yes. He talked a lot in the third person about Khajiit. Yeah.
Ah, visitors we have.
Yeah, that's good.
He clasps his little clawed hands in front of him politely. Who might you be? Me, you ask?
Yes.
Darian's like detective.
I am Nofa, Skin and Bones. He does have a distinct lack of fur for a catfolk.
Oh, he's one of those gross cats.
He's kind of wrinkly in areas, little tufts coming out of different places.
So you are.
We're not here to sell stuff, Nofa. Speak for yourself. Speak for yourself, Krojun. You've been gone long, I'm sure you've picked up a few trinkets from the desert. Besides, it is not every day we get people such as you here. Mockstender or not, know that I would be willing to do business with you.
I would like
That's
to point
good to
out, not. Thank you very much.
Not what?
Mockstander, I hate that word. I hate that word so fucking much. I marched out into the fucking desert and clawed my way out of a giant-ass worm. I'm gonna punch the next person that calls me a fucking mockstander.
1,001 apologies we have for you. Great. I don't remember.
I'm sorry. It's not your fault, little hairless one. I'm just really touchy about that word these days.
He wants to say something, but ends up just sort of like giggling instead. Very strange you are, traveling with a cream and a bear man thing?
With Thurgus, I believe, is what you'll find his name is. I'm fair saying.
Pleasure to meet you.
Is
Your
Professor
friend.
Henry Sinclair Chalmers at your service?
A professor, yes.
Yes, I do. I heard you talk of wares. I don't suppose you have any books for the procurement?
Are you interested in books? I have some books.
Always.
I have many things. There are many that do not see the true value in things. No fur. He is skin and bone for a
Delighted to
reason.
browse your inventory.
Yes, I tend to, how shall we say, forego my own pleasures so that I may have many wonders to give the great travelers that brave the deserts here. If you've
You've
picked up
certainly
anything
brought some things as well.
odd or something you don't understand or simply junk that you wish to get rid of, come to me first. Yeah.
So nice to meet you.
He said junk, I will. Do I have it? What is the junk people language?
Vark?
Do I have Vark? Fuck, I don't think I have Vark. Ah, damn.
Hypothetically, if we were to offload a bunch of our completely legitimately gotten gains,
Darian
why
at this
should-
point is like, oh,
Of course, of course. I have learned that Nufa does best business when he doesn't ask for too many questions.
Darian is humming a hymn from his holy book and walking away. Just la 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 la.
Did you detect evil in him?
I did.
Okay. There was no aura that came from him.
No aura?
So Darian walks away, and I just look at him. Why should we come to you first? Are you saying that you've got fair prices?
Oh, very fair. First
Discern
in the
lies.
land. It is why I am but skin and bone.
I will activate Discern
Amazing.
Lies and Sense Motive.
Okay. Give me a second.
I'm curious if he believes that he has fair prices or if he's totally bullshitting us.
Your discern lies is not picking up anything.
Okay.
And you said you were sense motive?
Yeah. I can roll it if you want.
Yeah, give me a second. I just need to.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, Darian can't sense motive for nothing, just for the sake of being in a party with you people.
Okay. He certainly has his story rehearsed that you might have to spend more time with this creature to learn his tells.
Hmm.
He definitely wants to trade with all of you guys.
I mean, I've got stuff I want to get rid of. I'm just curious if it felt like he was going to sell us out or something, etc.
It appears that the chieftain has business with you first. We will meet later, yes.
I can guarantee we will.
He does a low, almost back-breaking bow to all of you, and then kind of scuttles into the room and almost disappears into the shadow.
What a friendly merchant that fellow was.
Yeah, he seems legit.
Yes.
He has no aura. You don't hide your aura unless you've got something to hide. He has something to hide.
Notice he did not say anything about Bomba Dama Domba's symbol staring at him.
Maybe he was just being polite. It's polite not to discuss religion in front of strangers.
No fur.
Yes, no fur. I believe that was his name.
There's no fur.
What do you think,
Kisses
Dick?
everyone's ass. Spends too much time up there.
Ooh, wait. Spookabek, did that touch a nerve?
Technically unlikely, however, we get your point.
What's taking so long?
Krojun goes and pushes some guards off to the side and goes in.
Uncle! Yes, Krojun. I was speaking to the... Yeah. It is good to see you.
Once again, you just hear this. The Warriors of the Sun wave you in.
Okay.
Your weapons.
They point to a big kind of box and a few baskets outside the room.
All right. Darian will
Oh, sure.
drop
I
it.
can put some weapons in there.
Yeah.
Tech can put some weapons in there.
Is there anything you want me to do while here?
Says Pixel to Pharisee.
Why don't you come in with us for this meeting? This is where we present some of our story.
Okay.
Uncle, this is Sturgis of the Blood Bear.
You see, sitting upon a bone and wood chair. I guess you'd call it a throne. It's the biggest chair in this room. It doesn't quite look like at least at current state, like a like a great throne room. It's rather simple. There are some fire pits off to the side, almost like a long hall style. His chair is a little bit bigger. A table is moved off to the side that can be brought into the center for feasting. It's got a warrior's rustic quality to it. The stonework, however, behind the chair looks like it's of great age and looks very elaborate. It seems to be carvings perhaps from that Ankwani time and some fresco paintings that have begun to fade that look like they may have been repainted time and time again. There might be some gold and silver leaf work into the frescoes. There's too much going on the fresco to really understand the story. You might have to have someone interpret it for you. The Rakastan that is sitting upon the seat is a really old. At first, you thought from his mane that he was Shirkastan, or sorry, a Simbastan, but he's actually Shirkastan and just really, really blonde white with age. His stripes have sort of melded in with his aged hair.
Thurgus, this is my uncle, Chief Reddyclaw.
He'll put a claw to his chest and bow.
Chief Reddyclaw actually gets up. He's almost at the stage where he needs help getting up. He's wearing some armor that maybe he should try not wearing just on days when expecting trouble. Krojun almost flinched to almost help him, but he managed to get up. He did lurch forward a little bit, and he does go and shake your hand.
The true speaker here.
He grabs your hand. He still has a little bit of strength left in him, but Thurgus, he is a warrior long past his years and very long in the tooth.
Akrun has told me that you have braved Cindermar.
That is correct.
He nods.
You have sought to shed your Mockstander status.
I knew the next episode was gonna be
Twitching. Just like one eye.
He
Son of a bitch.
He seems oblivious to your to walk the path of, and I keep on forgetting this guy's name.
I have it written down. It's Skurok Makra.
Yeah. To walk the path of Skurok. And that you brought my nephew with you.
And then he looks at Krojun, deciding what he wants to say. We ran into each other on the road, and he bravely chose to accompany us on our quest for heroism. It's not a lie, but it's not exactly the truth either.
Yes. Yes. My brother's son is strong and has proven it before the Titan of Strength.
You get the sense that he has great hope in Krojun.
I would agree. He's definitely given me a run for my money.
The others also traveled into Cindermar's bowels. Oh, come forward. My eyes are not as they used to be.
He waves a hand with practiced motion, and one of his servants actually runs and grabs him a stick. It's kind of like a staff that he leans on while standing in front of you.
Right, I know who these heroes are. Introduce yourselves.
I'm Pharisee, the curse singer. One of the people from Garden, which has since fallen.
God, and my condolences.
Indeed. My companion, Pixel, and my devoted guardian and friend, Texiragigat.
He breathes in deeply, almost like he's trying to combat the
I know
ancient
that-
animosity between the Bastani and the Catfolk and the Rakastans and the Kreen. Give me a diplomacy check. This is just to see that you're able to
Yeah.
introduce a Kreen as your friend and still keep things
Fair
kosher.
enough. There's my diplomacy.
Take a -2 as he immediately calls the tribal chief a meat sack.
He is old meat.
Chief
37.
meat looks delicious.
I trust that he is trained.
Tech is the enemy of your enemies. He has fought and killed many of the Mantis assassins.
Oh,
A follower of the Iron God, not the Red Mantis God.
he should wear that symbol proudly.
Understood.
That seems to mollify any of the hatred for a moment.
And what business do men have here in Flameford with the tribe of the sun?
Oh,
Go ahead.
I'll nudge Darian forward. Hey, go ahead, lad. Come on, wow us with your chivalrous attitude, Paladin.
I am Sir Darian Montague, paladin and servant of Halcyon, and he bows deeply.
What land do you come from? As humans have spread to many pearls,
He says. He was about to say something ruder, but
I come from Grand Station, where great evil is afoot.
Are you in service to this Queen Iliosa?
She is my enemy.
there's a murmur from the room. Some of the guards and servants and maybe other nobles are kind of about like this is not a place of privacy. He gives Darian a suspicious look. Are there any items on you that you've inherited?
Well, the sword he's carrying, that he turns into.
Right. So that's not visible.
Right. I don't think. Maybe the full plate. We'll say the full plate.
Okay. You do catch him looking at your armor, like taking it all in.
Who is the old man that hides behind you?
Oh, sorry. I don't mean to be dwarfed by the shadow of such a prestigious young knight. I will step forward and with a flourish. Professor Henry Sinclair Chalmers III of Matabasta University, at your service, good king. The desert is a truly vast, inhospitable place. It is a joy to see that manners and chivalry still reign here in this oasis.
In your head, you hear, that was a lot.
I think.
Do you have any visible holy symbols or emblems of organizations or anything like that?
I am wearing a plague doctor's mask, and I worship myself as a god.
Are you
I don't know
taking off the plague doctor's mask to talk to him?
I would remove this mask, sir, but I have been stricken with incurable cholera, and for everyone's continued safety, it is probably for the best that I keep it on.
All right, when you say that, we're getting a little bit close, and Krojun just sort of pushes you back about 2 feet from the chief. When you say that,
Yes.
and,
Hello there, Krojun.
Oh. He's all right. He's a caster.
Ah, yes, they can be particularly fickle.
Oh, I assure you, I am stalwart in my dedication to the pursuit of knowledge and all things yet unlearned in this world. I have been dedicated for my entire life, good sir. You could say I am the king of the library, as you rule as the king of this oasis.
all right, you're trying to make him impressed with you. Give me a bluff or a diplomacy check.
Let's do diplomacy. I guess, yeah, let's do
You're like,
diplomacy.
be impressed. My vocabulary and boasts.
Yeah, I got my glamour going.
You can take a -2 for not showing your face.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, plus 10. Oh, not 19. 14.
So when you're still going, he's actually now looking past the rest of you, and he's waving up the others.
There he goes to the back.
Yeah.
Pardon me.
Krojun picks you up and puts you beside him.
Hand over the mouth. Enough.
Greetings, Chief Reddy Claw. I'm Bukrabek of Babadabadomba. And this here is Tusker Zephyros in his magic bag, Mokronom. Oh.
Tusker bows.
It is a pleasure being here in Flameford. This is the first time for many of us. Please excuse any of our idiosyncrasies. At this point, standing for this long seems to tire Chief Reddyclaw, and Krojun, like a tiptoeing nursemaid, is helping his uncle back to his seat. You haven't seen that much carefulness from Krojun. Chief Reddyclaw sits back down. Akrun comes over. Ah, yes. It appears that he has a quick conversation with all of you. It appears that the chief is quite impressed. I will make a declaration later this evening, which will allow those who wish to hear your story to hear it, and hopefully lift the mock status. He glances nervously over his shoulder towards Thurgus, but he was not looking directly at Thurgus when he was saying that. He did say something rather curious, that the Sun Shaman seems to be, disinterested and may not attend.
We should go and meet him personally.
Yes. I suggested that. I would go over in small numbers and be on your guard. He's very cantankerous when bothered. You
Interesting.
may want to find out more, or... Yes, we will have a feast tonight in your honor, Krojun, and for those of your friends. Akrun, the truth speaker of the Moon Tribe, will address the gathering of good folk here in Flameford, so that we may know your deeds. And I will pass judgment based on what I hear from your accounts and from that of the truth speaker full. I have no doubt that you have
You notice that he's actually got in his hands one of the pieces of crystal that Krojun had gathered. No doubt that you arrived at these crystals by honest and brave means. Not since the days of the one who first stripped himself of his outsider status have so many heroes gathered at once to do us honor.
These are dangerous times, a time that calls for great heroes.
Krojun, they may stay in the guest chambers. If you need food or rest or medicines, it will be provided. We'll meet this evening for the feast. Feel free to wander. Know that you are, until after the feast, still considered mockstander. I would not go very far, as visitors are not normally allowed in all places here in Flameford. But Krojun says what he says is true. Then soon such restrictions will be lifted. It may still take some of us some getting used to seeing such unfurry faces. Okay, Krojun, anything else I could do? No, go with your companions. Make sure they don't get into trouble before tonight.
Yeah, thank you, dear king. It has been a pleasure. And as you can see, some of us already have furry faces.
In your head, you hear, just shut up. Just stop talking right now.
He shoots you a dirty look when you called him king.
Is that not what he is? Oh, chief.
Chieftain.
Yeah.
King is, I think, is probably a human term he doesn't like.
You have to forgive an old man. He's set in his ways, you know.
Yeah, he's still glowering at you.
That's a pretty normal response for the professor who's oblivious to social cues. Ta-ta!
Krojun does bring you to one guest chambers that faces the northern side, and you can see the beautiful vista that lay beyond Flameford. Over there. Tonight we'll ask once we have Askram speak the truth. We'll go to the Atlan pillars.
Yeah, all right.
There's some really, really big pillars. You gotta put them in place and hold them there. Bigger the pillar,
all right.
the longer you hold it. 2 days. Some of the pillars are really tiny and hollow. It's the true stone ones. If you can pick them up and hold them in place and give honor to the whatever Titan has lived there before, sometimes you get blessed. I stood there for 2 days without drink, without food, held in place the biggest pillar I could. I even had to kick some hyenas that came for me one night.
And look at you now!
Whatever is
Nothing
there,
but muscle and brawn! Ah, yes!
whatever is there is a Titan. Or the remnants of one.
Atlan pillars, did you say? Yes. Can I do some kind of knowledge check to suppose which...
Knowledge planes, knowledge religion, or knowledge history?
Planes, religion, history. Let's do history. 35?
the family of Titans was much bigger than just the Titans that are worshipped commonly as gods now. And one of those Titans was called Atlas, whose punishment from the gods was to carry an entire world upon his shoulders.
Yes.
You think that if this was one of his temples or one of his houses, that it's extremely old. You also think that Atlas may have helped Kernatos Moors carry the pearls and put them in